From stories across the globe to stories here at home, this is the National News Broadcast. A very good evening to you. I'm Sharifa Tahir.
A very good evening. I am Dishant Veerakone, and let's start off by taking a look at the top stories for tonight.
The public assures a comprehensive victory for the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna at the general elections. Prime Minister says the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna government will extend the equal right for all to engage in businesses. Former MP Ranil Wickremesinghe says he possesses a systematic program to rebuild the country. Cabinet approval for the extension of benefits under the Agrahara insurance scheme for 600,000 state pensioners. Speedy solutions for the drinking water issue in Jaffna. More than 15.4 million people around the world have been diagnosed with COVID-19.
We move on to those and other stories in detail now. The public has assured a comprehensive victory in the history of parliamentary elections for Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna at the upcoming general election. The public pledged to extend their fullest support to overcome many challenges, including economic and health crises. The public made these comments when the President took part in public rallies organized centering Galle district to secure the victory of the candidates contesting from Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna. Firstly, the President attended the rally organized at Nelluwa public grounds to secure the victory of party candidate Sampath Athukorala. Responding to a query made by the public on the targets provided over the time to conclude agricultural activities and the necessary cultivation plots provided for the farmers, the President said that attention will be directed in providing barren lands in this regard. Responding to a question raised on the mechanism of the police over the activities related to Kittul toddy process carried out in rural level, the President said that the acting IGP has been instructed to refrain from conducting raids against such rural industries. In the school, directing his attention over the issues pertaining to preschool teachers, the President said that he will direct his attention to provide a fixed monthly allowance for them. Meanwhile, a small child presented his till to the President to be donated to the COVID-19 fund. Subsequently, the President took part in the rally organized to secure the victory of Isuru Dodangoda at Wanduraba public grounds. The Mahasangha pointed out that completion of Dharmacharya examination should be made compulsory for Dhamma school teachers. Responding to queries made by the public over the legal action taken to curb the activities related to underground mafia and illegal drugs, the President said that the public has the opportunity to lodge complaints relevant to such incidents to the police or the task force appointed in this regard, and accordingly steps can be taken to completely halt such activities taking place in the future. The President pledged to develop all the roads in Galle district as well as the operation theatres and intensive care unit of the Udugama Base Hospital. Venerable Battagama Samitathera and Minister Ramesh Pathirana were present at this occasion. Then President Rajapaksa took part in the rally organised to secure the victory of former MP Geeta Kumarasinghe at Konagala Weekly Fair premises in Alpitia. The President directed his attention on the drinking water issues faced by the residents of 40 houses in Induruwa area. President Rajapaksa attended a public rally held near the railway yard in Ragama station last evening. The public informed the difficulties encountered by office staff as the Ragama station has not been allocated as a stop for intercity express railway services. Accordingly, the President instructed the relevant officials to take necessary measures in this regard. The rally was organised to assure the victory of candidate Madhu Madhava part in a public rally organised near the private bus station in Kadavatha. The residents of the area requested the President to construct the Mahara Kadavatha Sports Complex and to renovate the dilapidated roads in the area. The rally was organised to assure the victory of candidate Sahan Pradeep. The rally organised by candidate Nimal Lanza was held at Nayakakanda grounds in Vattala. The President was briefed on the issues faced by the fisheries communities due to illegal sand mining in the area. Then the President participated in a rally organised in Jail area. While directing his attention on the issues faced by the public in the area, the President also engaged in a cordial discussion with them. The rally was organised by candidate Meril Pereira. President Rajapaksa took part in the rally organised near KC de Silvapura Agrarian Services Centre in Katana. The rally was organised to assure the victory of former MP Dr. Sudarshani Fernanda Pulle.
Welcome back. Now in more local stories. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa says that the government led by the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna will extend the equal right for all to engage in business ventures despite their political affinities or ethnicities. He made these comments during a meeting with the Colombo business community this morning. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa said that the local businesses can be sustained in future if the country can be further strengthened. He said that the relevant responsibility is vested with the present government. Therefore, he said that it is the duty of the public to extend their support to the government. He pointed out that the government will ensure the equal right for all to live their lives, engage in businesses and employment despite their political affinities or ethnicities. During the meeting, Minister Dr. Bandula Gunawardena said that many stimuli will be extended for local business communities. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa said that both factions of the United National Party have failed before the public. He made these comments while taking part in a public rally held in Malawi yesterday. Several public rallies were held yesterday under the patronage of the Prime Minister to secure the victory of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna candidates contesting from the Colombo district. The rally held in Malawi was organised by the party candidate Jagat Kumara. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa said that former MPs Ranil Wickramasinghe and Sajid Premadasa have come forward to contest from Colombo for the general elections. However, both of them have split into two factions. He added that former MP Premadasa was elected from Hambantota and he pledged that he would not leave his constituents and contest from a different electorate. The Prime Minister said that former MP Premadasa decided to contest from Colombo after realizing that he will not be able to secure the victory from Hambantota. He added that such acts would abandon his supporters. He further said that former MP Ranil Wickramasinghe has also been left distant. Accordingly, he said that both of these two leaders have strayed away from the public. The Prime Minister also took part in the public rally organised by leader of the National Freedom Front, Vimal Weeravansha, at the Kaduvela Weekly Fair premises. The Prime Minister also took part in the public rally held to assure the victory of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna candidate contesting from the Kulonnawa electorate, Ajit Subasinghe. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa took part in a public rally organised by the Pivithuru Hela Urume in Kotikavatta. The Prime Minister received a warm welcome from the gathered participants.
In the meantime, leader of United National Party Ranil Wickramasinghe says that he has presented a systematic program to rebuild the country's economy. He made these remarks while addressing a rally in Maradana. Leader of United National Party, Ranil Wickremesinghe, said that the country can be developed and taken forward only through a UNP government. He said that the country has faced the most severe challenge ever to face since the independence. Therefore, he said that they have to acquire the strength needed to overcome this challenge, and only a UNP government can achieve this strength. He said that the United National Party government only has ways to resolve the issues of the country, to stabilize the society, strengthen the household economy, and further strengthen the revenue-earning avenues.
In the meantime, leader of the Samagi Janabalawege, former MP Sajid Premadasa, says that his party will provide the necessary room for the provincial councillors to climb up in the political field. He made these remarks while addressing a rally in Uva Paranagama. Leader of the Samagi Janabalawege, former MP Sajid Premadasa, said that his party has taken the initiative to introduce a new mechanism for parliamentary politics and provincial council politics. He said that certain provincial councillors assume that their political career has been limited to the provincial level and political spectrum. He said that the Pradesh Sabha councillors will be given the priority to contest in the provincial council elections in the future.
The government has decided to extend benefits under the Agrahara insurance scheme for state sector employees retired prior to 2016. Pensioners who have retired from the public service after January 1, 2016 have been given the opportunity to receive benefits from the insurance scheme. Co-Cabinet spokesman Minister Dr. Bandula Gunawardena made these remarks while speaking at the media briefing held today to announce the decisions taken by the Cabinet of Ministers. Co-Cabinet spokesman Minister Dr. Bandula Gunawardena said that all pensioners retired from state service are benefited through the Agrahara insurance scheme. He said that the President is instructed to prepare a plan to establish ward complexes in state hospitals in main cities of the country, as the insurance benefits have only been received by private hospitals thus far. He said that the Cabinet of Ministers also approved a proposal to compile a program to remove any disparities in the salaries of employees presently in the state service through the National Salaries Commission. A committee with the chairing of former High Court Judge Sisira Ratnayaka has been appointed to recommend legal and administrative measures to formalize and gain efficiency in the state banking system for the strengthening of the national economy. The committee, comprised of experts in the relevant fields, the Cabinet of Ministers has granted approval to extend relief for householders who were affected by the water leak in the main tunnel of Umaia Multipurpose Development Project. The proposal was made to pay the rent recommended by the provincial assessor until September 30th for 46 families who were affected from the project. The Cabinet also granted approval to construct 118 new houses at other suitable places for the families recommended to be evacuated due to the risk of landslides. Minister Dr. Bandula Gunawardena said that the attention of the Cabinet of Ministers is directed on the request made by the public to provide land deeds during their meetings with President Gotabaya Rajapaksa during the previous several days. Co-Cabinet spokesman Minister Dr. Bandula Gunawardena said that the President has informed on the vast number of residents in rural areas in the country who are yet to receive their land deeds, as the necessary mechanism has not been prepared to fulfill their relevant right. Therefore, he said that the President had requested to prepare a relevant mechanism in this regard. He added that the President also instructed the committee to prepare a mechanism to avoid the heavy costs incurred in the process to extend land deeds for the rural community. The Cabinet of Ministers has also granted approval to appoint a committee consisting of representatives of relevant institutions to prepare a methodology to reimburse the depositors who had lost their deposits due to the irregularities of Multipurpose Cooperative Society of Heva Gam Korele East. Media personnel praised the co-cabinet spokesman, Minister Dr. Bandula Gunawardena and Ramesh Patirana, for cordially maintaining relations with the media during the final briefing held to announce the decisions of the Cabinet of Ministers today. During the briefing, the Sri Lanka Journalists Association presented a memento to Minister Bandula Gunawardena.
Now, the government has taken steps to initiate a systematic program to fulfill the drinking water requirement in the Jaffna Peninsula. The drinking water issue continues to prevail in the Jaffna Peninsula, and during a recent visit to Jaffna, Minister Chama Rajapaksa took measures to provide a permanent solution for this issue. The attention was drawn in this regard during a meeting held in the Chavakacheri Sarasale area. As an alternative, a rainwater gathering project was initiated yesterday to collect water from the rains prevailing during the periods from October to January, connecting the two areas of Uppu Aru and Kappudu. The project is directed by the Department of Irrigation. The project is also expected to provide water for irrigation purposes. The project is expected to be completed within 1 year. The project also consists of plans to provide water for agricultural activities by raising the dam of the Iranamadu tank. The project is also set to provide drinking water as well. Minister Douglas Devananda and state officials were present at this occasion.
In the meantime, the appeals filed for the release of former Secretary to the President Lalit Veeratunga and former Director General of Telecommunication Regulatory Commission Anusha Palpita were taken up for hearing today. Both the former Secretary to the President and the former Telecommunication Regulatory Director General, who have been sentenced for 3 years of imprisonment over the silk clothing incident, have been released on bail at present. The appeals were taken up for hearing before the Appeal Court Judge Bench, Justices Kumudini Vikramasinghe and Devika Aberatna. The attorney representing former Secretary to the President Lalit Veeratunga informed the court that the High Court judge had acted in a biased manner when delivering the sentence against the defendant. He also said that plaintiff took measures to present witnesses who were against the defendants during the case hearing. Therefore, he requested for a time extension to make necessary submissions while presenting more evidence relevant to the appeals. Accordingly, hearing of the appeals was postponed till July 29. Back, we continue with more stories here at home. Only one COVID-19 patient was reported in the country today. The newly reported patient has been identified as a returnee from Saudi Arabia. Meanwhile, recoveries from COVID-19 have increased up to 2,077. Overall, COVID-19 patients reported from the Kandakadu Rehabilitation and Treatment Center stands at 562. 451 out of them were inmates of the center and another 63 were from the staff of the rehabilitation center. Further 5 patients were identified from the invited staff and the other 43 patients have been identified as close associates of the patients related to the center. 2,077 patients have been totally recovered from the disease thus far, and it is 75.47%. Further 665 patients are still undergoing medical treatment at hospitals and the percentage stands at 24.16%. The curfew imposed to the Rajangania area after discovering COVID-19 patients recently will remain the same. Reports have indicated that the distribution of dry rations to the residents of the area has been carried out by the intervention of Rajangania Divisional Secretariat. 164 PCR tests have been carried out on the suspected associates of COVID-19 patients continuously in the recent days, and they have undergone through a second PCR test today.
And now let's take a look at the global situation regarding the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, the Gulf states of Bahrain and Qatar have the world's highest per capita rates of the coronavirus infections, with a total of 37,637 and 107,871 cases respectively. Meanwhile, the US has again recorded more than 1,000 COVID-19 deaths in a single day, with California overtaking New York as the US state with the most confirmed cases and reporting its highest single-day numbers for both cases and deaths. More than 15.4 million people around the world have been diagnosed with COVID-19 and at least 9.4 million people have recovered, while more than 622,000 have died from the disease. The United States has revisited the grim milestone of recording more than 1,000 COVID-19 deaths in a single day, while infections and hospitalizations are rising in many states in the country. More than 146,000 people in the country have died from the illness caused by the novel coronavirus, a toll which is expected to rise in several states. Florida, Texas, Georgia, and California are among the 40 states recording more cases. Florida reported 9,785 new cases and 140 new deaths yesterday. The country recorded more than 70,000 confirmed cases in the last 24 hours, increasing the tally to 4.1 million at present. Brazil and Argentina have both registered new daily records for coronavirus cases in the last 24 hours. Now, Brazil confirmed 67,860 cases yesterday, taking the total number of coronavirus cases in the second worst affected country in the world to more than 2.2 million, while Argentina recorded 5,782 cases. Both countries are also reported more deaths from the disease, while Peru added 3,688 previously uncounted people to its death toll, lifting the total to 17,455. Meanwhile, studies show Bahrain and Qatar have reported the highest per capita rates of coronavirus infections in the world. In Qatar, the new study found that nearly 60% of those testing positive showed no symptoms at all, calling into question the usefulness of mass temperature checks meant to stop the infected from mingling with others. In Bahrain, authorities put the asymptomatic figure even higher at 68%. However, both countries' COVID-19 fatality rates remain strikingly low. India has reported a new record surge of 45,720 new coronavirus cases, taking the total tally of infections to over 1.2 million. India has recorded 685 virus deaths in the past 24 hours, as well as 444 previously unreported fatalities, bringing the nationwide death toll from the pandemic to more than 29,000. Many states in India have started reimposing lockdowns as health authorities struggle to trace transmissions. Now, Russia reported 5,848 new cases of the novel coronavirus today, pushing its national tally to 795,038, the fourth largest in the world. A total of 147 people have died in the last 24 hours, pushing Russia's official death toll to 12,892. Now, taking a look at Australia, Australia reported its highest daily number of coronavirus-related deaths in 3 months today, as new infections continue to climb in its second most populous state. Now, Victoria State has confirmed another 403 infections, while 5 people had died from the virus in the last 24 hours. Nationally, Australia has recorded over 13,000 coronavirus cases with a death toll of 133.
In the meantime, in Spain, the Spanish Red Cross has used a hotel as a hospital in the city of Lleida, one of Catalonia's coronavirus hotspots, in order to ease the pressure on local hospitals as they try to contain a coronavirus outbreak.
In the middle of summer, it should be full of tourists unpacking their bags, but the Spanish Red Cross was unpacking boxes of PPE on Wednesday, as it set up a hospital in a hotel in the city of Lleida, one of Catalonia's coronavirus hotspots. It's hoped the makeshift medical centre will ease the pressure on local hospitals. Around 160,000 people in Catalonia returned to confinement on Wednesday, as the authorities scrambled to control a fresh surge of coronavirus infections in the area, just weeks after a nationwide lockdown was lifted. A judge finally approved the regional government's stay-at-home order for Lleida residents and 6 nearby towns on Tuesday night, after several days of legal wrangling and political tensions over the issue. Under the new rules, people may only leave their homes for essential activities like working or buying supplies, while hotels, restaurants and bars will close except for food pickup or delivery. Following Catalonia's lead, a number of regions across Spain introduced compulsory mask use at all times, regardless of whether social distancing can be guaranteed. In the southern Andalusia region, the restriction even applies to beachgoers.
Now, shifting focus to Cuba. Cuban girls are turning face masks into a fashion, now accessories for their quinceañera photo shoots, curating them to match their 15th birthday party outfits, both out of safety concerns and to show how they come of age during the coronavirus pandemic.
Cuban girls celebrating their quinceañera are giving a whole new meaning to the social media hashtag Corona but make it fashion. The quinceañera, or quince, meaning 15th birthday celebration, is a rite of passage into womanhood throughout Latin America. Girls in Havana are embracing this moment in history to make their photo shoots, normally a glamorous affair complete with hair, makeup, and custom gowns, uniquely of the moment while protecting themselves and others, says Sofia Valenzuela, who's turning 15.
I designed my quince dress, and the mask was very important because it marked an important stage in my life, which was the pandemic. It lasted 3 months, so I had to design my face masks to fit with my outfit and for all the colors to work. Apart from combining the colors, it was also for safety.
Cuba made face masks obligatory in public spaces early on in the outbreak and credits them with helping contain the spread of the coronavirus on the island. Some Cuban seamstresses have had to innovate, with some fabric shops still closed, making it difficult to make the perfect matching face covering, like this checkered mask matching a checkered skirt. For a more urban look, a black mask with a pair of black pants. Photographer Manuel Padron, who has been shooting quinceañeras for more than 10 years, says the masks contribute to the look as if it were part of the whole show.
For young women, this contrast of the mask with the dress, the combination is striking. It is a fashion statement that I think will stay. They were looking for a way to combine the color of the clothes with their masks. These young women are excited, and it catches your attention to see them with a mask in the photograph. They took selfies, and it added something that's part of the whole experience, that is their quince photo.
Still, others will take their masks off for some socially distant glamour shots out in the ocean, but for most young women marking their quince, wearing a mask isn't too onerous, and it will make their photos truly unlike any others.
Now in more local news, Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa has advised the Secretary of the State's Treasury, SR Artikala, to speed up the process of paying the compensation payment of 600,000 rupees for the depositors of the Finance and ETI and Swarnamahal Financial Services PLC. Accordingly, it has been advised that the compensation payment for 146,000 depositors of the Finance Company should be carried out through any People's Bank branch island-wide. Further, 38,000 depositors of ETI Financial Services Company will receive the compensation, and payment of compensations for the depositors of Swarnamahal Financial Services PLC will be commenced from Saturday, July 25th through any branch of People's Bank island-wide. Stay tuned for foreign news coming up on the other side of this break. And that's a wrap of tonight's Primetime News, and until we meet again next time, do take care, stay safe and good night.
Good night.